Everybody's life purpose, not just yours. Everybody's life purpose is to know, is to remember that they're God. To remember that they're God, they're one with God. To remember like that power, that everything, you know. To remember that, to become one with that, you know. And to go towards that, That's actually every person's life purpose. Now, it's either you either do it consciously, or you move towards that consciously or unconsciously. That's the only difference. Matter of fact, everybody's going towards their life purpose. No one is not, whether a person likes it or not. You know. For example, you shared your struggles with your ex-partner. You know, coming to visit your two children. Is it two boys?
A girl and a boy.
Okay, a girl and a boy. And and it's hard and all that, because you're kind of you have broken up, but you haven't really, because the kids are coming. You have, but you have to see the person all the time. Regularly, in that sense. So, but this hardship is bringing you. You're not bringing you, but you are living your life purpose towards God. It's making you go towards that. It makes you kind of remember the higher. When you're struggling, you always tend to remember the higher. You kind of feel more helpless, and you're like, oh God, like, help me. Inside you, there's a feeling, oh God, help me, I'm struggling. See that? Suddenly, without saying without any inspiring like talks from gurus and others, without anyone doing anything, you're kind of remembering, oh God, help me, I'm drowning, help me. You're remembering that sincerely, So you are going towards your life purpose, what I'm saying, but you're going through it unconsciously. You don't know that this is part of moving forward to remembering God. Will you agree? Because you're not remembering in the moment the person's coming over, oh, that's fantastic. I'm going towards God.
No, not at all.
It's not purposeful, is it? Like this, So, as we remember, basically, the more we move forward, the more we're going to choose the conscious way. And when you start to choose the conscious way to go towards God, become one with God. The spiritual words they use is merging, to become one, the oneness with the divine, or merging with the cosmic consciousness. They're just different words, that's all, So the more you start to become conscious of it, the more you start to move towards it purposefully, not basically being kind of, it's not, it's basically less through painful methods, less through painful methods, like this. It's more towards moving towards God through celebration, You know, when I say celebration, I don't mean parties and things like that. It simply means you move towards it more harmoniously and with joy. And this pilgrimage is a classic example of an experience of moving forward. You know, moving forward on our life purpose, towards our life purpose. You know, on track, on the same path, on the same railway. You know, like, but kind of like it's kind of nice. You know, it's kind of nice. Like this. It's kind of nice, you know. So the fact that all of you is sitting here, is a classic example of, without a doubt, 100% without a doubt, is a classic example of you will not be sitting here, you know, if you haven't gone through the, like, the suffering, and like, oh God, help me, oh my God, it's too much, you know. You all been through that. You've been through that, you know what I mean? You understand? See what I'm saying? And then you go, oh God, help me like this. And then now you're coming here, sitting in front of me, and I'm showing you, God is showing you through me, how to do this life purpose thing, purposefully, not unconsciously, you know, like this, you know what I mean? Like if someone is like, life knows, like everyone has to move forward, you know. Like if the water there, the rain's coming down and sitting in that water there, and flowing down that creek there, right? It doesn't matter if that water there likes it or not. It's going to be down the down there. It's going to go down the stream. It's going to be probably join the Kanda River. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yes, it doesn't matter if the water likes it or not. The rain, it will move down with the river. Doesn't matter we like it or not. Oh, that spiritual stuff, that's weird. You know. Don't believe it. I'm an atheist, or whatever. You know. Everyone's is on the stream. Everyone's is on the stream. You know. See, when you don't know, it's unconscious, and life is pushing you forward, you know, like this, then like, I mean, it's all different ways, but God uses a relationship a lot. That's one of the best tools God uses. Another thing God uses is sickness, you know. The strongest person, pretty much the strongest person in the world. Well, I saw on YouTube. I was curious how strong can a strong person full on be, you know? And this guy, he was deadlifting. Deadlifting is like they hold this bar on the ground and they literally just stand up straight. They bend down and they just stand up straight for one lift. That's deadlifting. Well, the world record is like, I don't know, 625 kilos or 600, something like that. 625 kilos. They just pick off the ground, stand up straight with it. And I couldn't believe it. You know, I couldn't believe it. You know, like this, I couldn't believe it. You know. You know. Look, the strongest person in the world, right? But if that person gets really sick, some fatal, disease, how much is he going to lift? How many kilos is he going to lift? You understand what I mean? How many kilos is he going to lift? Like this. You understand? So, like through relationship, through sickness, through like financial difficulty, through all these things that God uses to make us surrender, go on our knees, and the strongest man in the world. And then when you're sick, and then, oh God, please, it's too painful. Please help me. Please help me. Please help me. Isn't it? It still comes down to what? The strongest man in the world comes down his knees and surrenders. Isn't it? Why not just surrender? Why not just surrender? And then God doesn't have to use this other stuff. Doesn't have to use like relationships, troubles. God doesn't have to use financial difficulties. God doesn't have to use sickness. God doesn't. Because God doesn't want to do that. That is kind of like last resort. When you understand? Like God's helpless. God is speaking to us. You're speaking to us in our heart, in our feelings. Like my child. That's not the way. Let go and surrender. Have faith in me. Surrender. Don't tire yourself. Have faith. Remember me. Don't be caught up with the like my creations, this and that. Don't worry about the creations. Surrender to me. Come home to me. And be who you are. Be who you really are. God is talking to us like this. And we don't give a stuff. We watch Netflix and violence and this, and put stuff in our chakras heavy, and the root chakra is heavy, and then back pain. I'm not joking. This is what's happening. I'm not joking. I know it sounds funny, but it's true. It's true. It's true. Because when I'm healing someone's back pain stuff, I'm really kicking out the Netflix stuff. Like all this stuff. All this stuff. Yeah. So that's everybody's life purpose, not just yours. Like this. Because society don't understand, They think, what's my life purpose? What am I meant to be? Well, you're meant to be God. But they don't think that. They say, no, I'm meant to be a great singer. I'm meant to be the strongest man in the world. I'm meant to be like a soccer superstar. I'm meant to be like a billionaire. By the time I'm 30, I'm meant to be like the president of the United States. I'm meant to be like all these. They think that's their purpose. They think that's their purpose. but it's not. It's not. You know, they're not our purpose. They're just our, what I would say, they're just we're just having some fun. Having some fun singing, or you know, we're just like living different aspects of life, you know, of life. You know. But when the life purpose, when you actually consciously live your life purpose towards peace, towards love, towards joy, you know, towards joy, you know. When you move towards that, you know, when you're moving towards that, you're moving towards God. You're moving towards God, you know, and when you know when you're moving towards that, your life purpose, because inside here, it feels really light, really light. When you kind of dream to be a rock star, dream to be a billionaire by the time you're 30, dream to be whatever the outside. As soon as you start your dream, you feel really heavy. Because as soon as you start your dream, you feel heavy because you just had that idea, and the moment you got that idea, you've already failed. Because success means in the future. It's not now. You started something, the idea, and you already failed at this point right now. You know. So and you have to strive until you get to the picture, a billionaire by your 30, and when you get there. And like, let's say you succeed at being a billionaire by the time you're 30. You actually, when you get to that point, you actually realize, I still feel purposeless. You actually still feel that, you know, like this, you know.